Despite 7 years out of the Champions League, Arsenal fans will be far too familiar with the round of 16, a round of the Champions League we just haven't been able to break out of since around 2009, 2010, I think. We're going to touch in on that in a little bit, but somebody who won't be too familiar with the round of 16 is Bukayo Saka, because he's never played in it. This is his debut season in the Champions League, and he'll be making his debut in the knockouts when Arsenal face Porto, and I'm really excited to see how he does. Now, a lot of people feel that he's got to really step up to the plate. Why? Because in these world-class debates, you've got to do it at the very highest level. Now, I'd argue he's already done it at the highest level. It just depends how you see that. But we'll go into that in a little bit. A lot of this sparked by what Rio Ferdinand had to say in the Phil Foden debate, saying that Phil Foden was world-class, but Bukayo Saka's not. Arsenal fans rightly saying, well, if it's about trophies, then is Harry Kane not world-class? And you can imagine how the debate went. I don't really want to talk about that too much, but it was just interesting. That's one of the quotes that did the round and sparked a lot of debate on the social media, and I think has put a little bit more pressure on Bukayo Saka to deliver in what are these final 3.5 months of the season, and a big 3.5 months for Arsenal. But other stuff did the rounds on social media, and one of them was a comparison between Bukayo Saka and Cristiano Ronaldo. As you can see from this Sky Sports graphic, it has their first 210 games, and you can see that Bukayo Saka's got more goals and assists combined than Cristiano Ronaldo, who went on to become one of the greatest of all time the Premier League's ever seen. In fact, some of you watching this might think he is the greatest of all time. I don't think Bukayo Saka is going to get to that level, but I do think there are other numbers that show you that he is going to get to a world-class level if he's not there yet already. This is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how unbelievably impressive his numbers in an Arsenal shirt are, because I've picked out a load of other wingers. Some are still playing in the Premier League, and I think have got to a very good, I was about to say world-class level. Some have said that they're world-class in the past. I'm not sure if I'd have them there now, or if I ever did have them there. Maybe some of them do, but 3 definitely were. And you can see from this list, I've got Phil Foden, Sterling, Rashford, Sanchez, Hazard and Bale. I've gone for wingers that I saw the best of their Premier League careers. You know, I could have gone into Ryan Giggs and other bit, but I'm talking about the ones that I really saw at a time where I understood football best. And I've got Bukayo Saka's goal and assists per game compared to these guys. And when I did my research at first, I thought, yeah, let's have a little look, because Bukayo Saka's numbers might look really impressive compared to these guys. And they look impressive from the point of he's keeping up, but he's not bettering a lot of these people. I wanted to be really honest about that, because at 0.49 goals/assists per game in the Premier League, Bukayo Saka is bettering Phil Foden, not as good as Raheem Sterling, though a lot of that came in a really, really good patch at Manchester City. It's about level with Marcus Rashford, but falling just short of Alexis Sanchez, Eden Hazard and Gareth Bale. But the point is, he's not miles off. He's not in a different stratosphere whatsoever. The numbers are still really impressive, and you've got to think that he's done a lot of this from different positions, which we'll talk about in a sec. But he started as a left back, and he is actually still putting out numbers that are competitive with some of the best wingers the modern era of the Premier League has seen. So I wanted to do something else with these numbers. I wanted to actually see what he's on course for this season, because at 12 goals and 8 assists, Bukayo Saka, he is going to have his most productive Premier League season yet. He's only getting better and better and better. The numbers continue to improve, and the output from Arsenal's wide players, Bukayo Saka in particular, is only getting better. Comparing it to these other players and their best, most productive season in the Premier League, he's on course to hit 18 goals and 12 assists. That is not a stretch from 12 goals and 8 assists. Then he gets 4 more assists in about 13 games, and he gets 6 more goals. If he's to do that, he could match Raheem Sterling's 18 goals, but be just short of his 15 assists in terms of Sterling's most productive Premier League season. He could better Marcus Rashford. He could be just shy of Eden Hazard as well, though potentially beating his goal scoring tally of 16 in his most productive season, and out assist Gareth Bale. But I mean, what Gareth Bale did as a goal scorer from the winger, especially in that final season or two for Tottenham, was absolutely out of this world. But the point I'm trying to make is, you do that, you project a little bit, and you see, well, how could this look by the end of the season? And those numbers start to look unbelievably impressive. And there's no reason to feel like Bukayo Saka can't do that, because he is moving in that direction. He really is. His goal rate and his production rate is going... It's what people are talking about more than anything. Last season, he was this blistering winger who took on fullbacks and was, regularly getting GA. But now you're talking about someone who maybe hasn't hit his best in terms of, as an out-and-out winger, but his productivity is unbelievable. Now, there are other reasons that show that Bukayo Saka is doing it. Forget just the raw numbers in terms of goals and assists. Let's look at all the way back when he was 18 years old. And this graphic did the round, showing that he had 12 assists at a certain point in the season, keeping up with Mahrez, Gomez, and just shy of Trent Alexander-Arnold with Kevin De Bruyne leading the way. He was doing that from left back at the age of 18. And then he goes on to play several positions for Arsenal, from left back to left wing back, right wing back, playing then in the forward line and even in central midfield. And all this experience has led to him earning the PFA Young Player of the Year for all Premier League players in 2023. Those are just club stats. In fact, I can even throw you all the goals and assists he's got against the Big Six. 6 goals, assists against Liverpool, 3 against Man City, 4 against Chelsea, 6 against United and 4 against Tottenham, showing he is a big game player. That's all for Arsenal. But let's take it to an international level if you need more convincing that he has done incredible things by the age of 22, becoming, well, a squad member for England at the Euros and earning his way into the team, making it to the final, playing an appearance in the final. He was man of the match against France in a defeat to the World Cup champions, where he really stood out as the best player, and he's won England's Player of the Year for 2022 and 2023. It's incredibly impressive. And then the next question everyone's asking is, well, can you do it in the Champions League? 5 games already, 3 goals, 4 assists. Whatever you throw at Bukayo Saka, he is delivering. He is stepping up to it every single time. Now, I understand the argument that he maybe needs to do it in that real final month or two, crunch time for Arsenal in the Premier League, and really kind of in those pressurised knockout rounds of the Champions League. But I see no reason, well, look at what he's done and everything I've just listed off there, why he can't do it. So, the first hurdle is Porto. I mentioned that. And we're facing a club who Arsenal are expected to beat, but we've got to show them some respect as well. They've got some talented players. They sit third in the table with 15 wins, 3 draws, 4 defeats. But the big thing that really stands out is while they have the second best defence in their league, they're not scoring a lot of goals. 37 goals leaves them way off Sporting and Benfica, showing you that Porto might be a really rigid, tough team to beat. However, in the Champions League, they did finish second to Barcelona, but actually level on points. It was a slightly different story. They outscored Barcelona in the Champions League group stages. They've got some talented players that are worth talking about as well. Mehdi Taremi could be out for this game. He's a really good complete forward. I think someone who would have actually caused Arsenal a lot of problems. He can be a little bit of a handful. He's a good ball player as well. But they've got other talents. Evan Ilson will probably play up front in his absence. You got Pepe, who can play out on the wing or in central positions. Galeno's a really exciting sort of talented, flary winger. You got the likes of Varela in midfield, and the other Pepe, former Real Madrid Pepe. Yes, I think he's 40 years old, but with age comes wisdom and experience. Pepe will be up for this tie. I think a couple of years ago, maybe last season, he was brilliant in the Champions League for Porto, stepping up when they really needed it. And he was obviously an older player then. So I think Arsenal will be coming up against a experienced and I think a team that will know what they're doing in this competition in Porto, that can make it difficult for a young, more inexperienced Arsenal side who have bags of quality. Now, Fabio Vieira, former Porto player, will be hoping to play against his club. He did train and is, I think, back in contention with Arsenal. Thomas Partey also trained, but Zinchenko, Tomiyasu, and who's the other player? Gabi Jesus are expected to be out. They haven't trained ahead of this tie. So, Arsenal, Porto, they travel there first before they host them at the Emirates. So I think it's good that second leg is at the Emirates. I think that is better. I think you want that second leg at home so you know what you have to do in front of your home crowd. But the big thing is, can Arsenal overcome this hurdle of the round of 16? If you look at this here from Transfermarkt, you can see that Arsenal haven't got past the round of 16 since 2009-2010, where they were knocked out by Barcelona. Since then, defeats to Barca, AC Milan, Bayern Munich twice, Monaco, Barca, and Bayern Munich again. Sees this I think that's 7 last 16s in a row that they haven't got past. So that is the big question for Arsenal. You've taken a long time away from the competition. You clearly weren't good enough to compete, but are you now? A lot of people are tipping Arsenal to be the biggest challengers to Man City. Are they really? Can they beat the Bayern Munich, the PSGs of this world? But first and foremost, if you're going to play them, you've got to beat Porto. My score prediction is a 2-1 Arsenal win. I think they'll nick it. I think they will come back with a slender advantage at the Emirates. If they can, though, that would be huge. And a place in the quarterfinals would be an amazing test for this team that I really believe can go a long way in this competition. And I just want to say a really big thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, actually hit the links right here to watch more content like this, including my Football First podcast, which drops every Monday to Friday at 6 AM. And I know it's annoying, I am really sorry to have to ask, but if you want to show support to the channel, hitting the like and subscribe buttons help promote the content much more than you could possibly know. Thanks again.